Every great conversation starts with a question, and this one is, who sits here? Is it the student who goes on Facebook and texts within their sweatshirt all the time? Is it the student that really doesn't want to go to class? Is it the student that pulls up their hood and wants to listen to music? Who sits here? Is it the employee who programs all day and has absolutely nothing to do with the other people in the room? Is it the employee who hates sitting next to the shredder? Is it the employee who really is using this as a hop, skip, and a jump to the next thing? The biggest question of all is why? Why do people sit there for 8 hours a day? Is it because they're forced to? Is it because they have obligations such as family and all of those kinds of things? Why is it that they do this to themselves? Go to school, go to work. I want to talk about a better way. Okay, the case for authentic learning. When I say authentic, I'm talking about a real purpose and a real audience. Okay, both at school and for work. My name is Ben Wilkoff, and I teach students and adults how to use authentic learning and technology. So, before we get started, it is not about the stuff. No matter how much cool crap you have at your work or at your home, it is not about the stuff. Even if you have the coolest school with smart boards and things like that, it is not about the stuff, iPods, everything like that. It's not that interesting. It's not authentic. It's not for a real purpose and a real audience. Okay? It's not about your location. You could have the absolute best law in downtown Denver. You could have the worst school, which I'm not going to name names or anything. Okay? But it is not about your location. That does not lead to an authentic experience. An authentic experience starts with creating context. This is a picture, culture of difference. We need to take the context from what you know to a place where you don't know. The example that I'm going to use is 7th and 8th graders. We took them from suburban Highlands Ranch to Denver. We started using text marks to text information about a scavenger hunt to all around Denver. And we had them create an interactive scavenger hunt for other people. They were using this. You can also use this to get out messages and in order to create a more connected understanding. So it's about staying connected. This is the Flickr verse from a couple of years ago. Okay, you need to be able to stay connected. We did this with our students by actually asking them to go and get connected with some other resources, to actually go and become an expert in 30 minutes on a really specific topic. This is a great way of researching things, of actually putting it into a blog or a wiki or something like that, where you're actually pulling information into something that makes sense. And that's going to allow us to collaborate with one another. If you are an expert on something, you can actually forge a collaboration with somebody else. When I talk about collaboration, it's not just a term. It means that you are joining with somebody else in order to create something new. So when I want to collaborate with somebody, it is that I actually want to join that handshake, and I want to actually have all of the voices within this. This is a debate that we did on censorship at Huckleberry Finn. Somebody was absent, they were able to join in using Cover It Live. Somebody from Twitter that's in my Twitter network joined in and they were able to join the debate. We need everybody to have their voices come in and be able to collaborate. It's about changing direction. If we listen to all of those voices, then we won't have this fail right here, where if you create a project or you create a test that you can write all the answers on your hand, you have created a bad project or a bad test. Okay? The way that I know this is we did a project where I was asking students to create a utopia, a perfect place. I asked them to do it in text on a wiki. I thought that was really cool. They wanted to actually see the place. We found an open source project called Terrainjit where they could see the terrain of the project. That was a way of changing the direction of the project and starting a different conversation. It was no longer about text, it was about screencasting that place. It was about starting the conversation and changing the way that we do things. So, when we start conversations, I don't want to be asking small questions. I actually want to be asking really, really big questions. The one that this one is asking is, could a hippogriff fly? If any of you can answer that, that's awesome. But it asks you to change your understanding about what is possible with anatomy, with science. You are able to actually create something that's different, something that you really would like to be passionate about. And in order to do that, we always have to be learning something new. You probably recognize some of the icons that are on this screen. Some of them you probably don't. Okay, we need to be learning stuff that we already use and expanding out from there. Okay, continually learning something new. The way that I do that is actually bringing stuff that is old and bringing it back. Radio drama is popular in 20s, 30s, and 40s. You're able to bring that new, create a podcast where kids are crafting content. You can do that where you're crafting content at work, where you're actually taking something that is old, bringing it to your authentic place. Authentic learning helps us to know why we are in work, at school, all of those different things. My My name is Ben Wilkoff. You can contact me on Twitter at @BHWilkoff. I am at learningischange.com, and my new project, if you're interested in, is called Speed Geek Learning, which is people presenting ideas for purpose, with meaning, and finding perspective. Thank you very much.